Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the program. I've come to the conclusion that I have really no idea what people are going to watch. A few months back, I posted a Lonnie Johnson video and actually admitted that this is probably more for me than anyone else. But a lot of folks liked it. The Book of White video, cool as hell, I thought. No one saw it. Sister Rosetta Tharpe has more views than 2 Eric Clapton videos. And Elizabeth Cotten, she trails Led Zeppelin by just 11 clicks. So honestly, I have no idea what you're going to think of Son House. But what I can tell you is this. If anyone deserves one of those new musical docudramas, it's Son House. And they wouldn't even have to make a whole bunch of shit up. His life was a movie. So anyway, here we go. It's Son House. The song is Death Letter Blues, and I think you're just going to dig the hell out of this one.
I got a letter this morning, I do, written in red. Say, hurry, hurry, the gal, your love is dead. I got a letter this morning, I say, how you written in red? They say, hurry, hurry, 'cause the gal you love is dead. You know, I grabbed up my suitcase, took her down the road. Oh, when I got there, she laying on the cooling board. I grabbed up my suitcase, I said, I took her down the road. I said, when I got there, she laying on the cooling board. You know, I walked up close, look down in her face. It's a good old girl, got the day at a judgment day. I said, I walked up close, I said, I looked down in her face. I said, it's a good old girl, got the day at a judgment day. You don't look like 10,000 people was standing around the burying ground. I didn't know I loved her until I let her down. Looked like 10,000 standing around the burying ground. You know I didn't know that I loved her until I began to let her down. You know I didn't feel so bad till the good Lord's sun went down. I didn't have a soul to throw my arms around. I didn't feel so bad until the good Lord's sun went down. I said I didn't have a soul to throw my arms around. You know it's so hard to love someone don't love you. Don't look like a satisfaction. Don't care what you do. It's so hard to love someone that don't love you. You know, don't look like it's satisfaction. Don't care what you do. You know, love hard on fault, make you do things you don't want to do. Love sometimes leave you feeling sad and blue. Love hard on fault, make you do things you don't want to do. Love sometimes leave you feeling sad and blue. Blues.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is definitely the blues, Son House and Death Letter Blues. So, if you've been paying attention, this is actually the 3rd time we featured the music of Son House on the program. The first time was in episode 11. That's when Larkin Poe covered his song Preachin' Blues. And then in episode 19, where Tinsley Ellis did a version of this very song. So at the end of the video, when we have those little preview windows, I'll put both the Larkin Poe cover and the Tinsley Ellis cover on there. So you can kind of see them, all three of them, and just kind of compare them and enjoy them as well. So Edward James Son House was born March 21st, 1902 in Lyon, Mississippi. His father, Eddie House Sr., was a musician and a deacon in his local church. Now, the young Eddie House, aka Son House, sang in the church, but was largely hostile to the blues and really to any sort of secular music. Recall in this part of his life years later, he really called it a hatred of the blues. And it was based on his passion for church going. As he would call it, he was churchified, is the phrase he liked to use. When he became 19, he got married to an older woman from New Orleans. His family did not approve of this union. So he and his new bride, they moved to her hometown where they went to help her father run their farm. This lasted a couple years, and then Son House began feeling it just wasn't working out. He was feeling used and I guess disillusioned with the whole situation. Later on in life, he said that I left her hanging at the gatepost with her father telling me to come back so we can plow some more. I guess he didn't really have many fond memories of his ex-wife and his father-in-law many years later. So he moved around quite a bit, working all manner of jobs before, I guess, going back to the church. In his early 20s, he became a professional pastor. That didn't last a long time. Like his father, he liked to drink and probably womanize as well. So eventually he did have to leave the church he was preaching at, although he would come back time and again to preach occasional sermons. So right around this time, he was about 25 years old, and I guess this is when he received his true calling. So one day near Clarksdale, Mississippi, he's hanging with some friends, and a guy he knew started playing a music style he's never heard of, and that was playing the blues in that bottleneck guitar. This was a light bulb moment for the young Son House. It changed his attitude towards the blues and changed his life just immediately. His life was never going to be different. Short time later, he bought a guitar and he started playing with his buddies. Two of the songs he learned during this early period became two of his biggest hits, one being My Black Mama and the other one being Preachin' the Blues, which he kind of reworked to be his song, Preachin' Blues. And this is really speaks, I think, to his talent as a musician, because really in a short period of time, we're talking probably a year or so, he developed his own unique style that really combined the singing he learned in the church with this really simple bottleneck style of guitar playing that, again, combined with something that was very different. So somewhere around 1927 or 1928, now at this point, he's playing professionally in juke joints in the area. One night, some guy came in and just started shooting people, I guess. Son House was shot in the leg during the melee. Son House, I guess he had a gun. He returned gunfire. He shot and allegedly killed this other individual. For this, he received a 15-year prison sentence at the Mississippi State Penitentiary, aka the famed Parchman Farms, where a few of our artists spent some time, if you recall some of those episodes. Now, of those 15-year sentence, he actually served just 2 years. The reason being has really kind of been lost to history. Biographers have been unable so far to find any court records saying why he was left out early. This is both in state and county records. Over the years, Son House's, I guess, memory of the events has kind of changed, so we don't really know. But after being released from prison, Son House did make his way down to Lula, Mississippi, where Charlie Patton and his musical partner Willie Brown were playing and performing. Now, of course, at this point, Charlie Patton, he's one of the biggest stars in the blues. He meets this young Son House and recognizes his talent. They start playing together while playing in these juke joints and such, and also helping the local women sell some bootleg whiskey. So good on them. And so a couple years later, about 1930, the three of them are invited to record some records for Paramount Records. Son House, he ends up recording 9 songs, 8 of them which were released, and no one bought them. That's really what it comes down to. And he kind of gave up recording professionally for really about another 35 years. He basically really just kind of started working just average jobs. Now in 41 and 42, the music archivist Alan Lomax did record some songs with Son House, but these were for the Library of Congress. These weren't like commercial releases. These were really just more of a collection of culture recordings that the Library of Congress was collecting at the time. So for these years, he was working as a tractor operator on various farms. He was a porter for the New York Central Railroad. He worked as a chef. Again, just a lot of different things. So in the early 1960s, of course, we know we've talked about this before, the folk blues revival was kind of sweeping across the U.S. and Europe. And this is when Son House was rediscovered all over again. So he started hitting these blues festivals and these folk festivals. So like in 1964, he played the Newport Folk Festival. The next year, it was the New York Folk Festival. In 1967, he went on his first tour of Europe. This was along with other musicians for the American Folk Festivals. Other blues performers that year included Skip James and Booker White. Cool, right? From there on, he just kept doing his thing. He started working with producer John Hammond and a then 22-year-old Alan Wilson, who would go on to play with Canned Heat. Started recording more albums and touring throughout the United States and throughout Europe. And this is just what he did. Just Son House, just going out and showing the world what he was made of. As he got older, the health problems started, kind of creeping up on him as they would. He retired again from music in 1974. He ended up moving to the city of Detroit. Welcome to the Motor City, Ben. Where he did die in 1988, I think because from cancer, if I'm not mistaken, having been married 5 times and fathering 2 daughters. After he passed, the Detroit Blues Society did hold some benefit concerts to pay for a monument for his grave. So to the Detroit Blues Society, thank you very much, my friends. And in 2007, Son House was honored with a marker on the Mississippi Blues Trail. And in 2017, his single Preachin' Blues was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. As of now, Son House has not yet been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because, well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sucks. If you need another example, right there is example number 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the look, the look into Son House's career, hearing some of Son House's music. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, post a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. And I guess we'll see you in a couple more days. Y'all take care, all right?